This week we're launching a new project on the ecoligo.investments crowdinvesting platform to finance a solar system for the Impact Hub in Ghana's capital, Accra. We're very lucky to have the co-founder of the Impact Hub, William Senyo, here with us today. Thanks for coming today, William.
Thanks for having me, Anna.
First up, can you tell us a little bit about what happens at the Impact Hub and about how you got involved?
Yes, the Impact Hub has, over the past 5 years, slowly progressed and enlarged its vision. What it focused on today is taking a part of the city of Accra and making it a safe haven for both thinkers and entrepreneurs to thrive. So everything they need to thrive, from safe, affordable workspaces to backup electricity to amazing Google Fiber internet to accelerator programs to access to capital, anything they need to be able to thrive in a very tough resource constrained environment. We are looking to bring pieces together to make those things happen at the local level with global partners. So essentially we are trying to build the innovation district of the city of Accra.
Great. What kind of startups do you have at the Hub just now?
Yes, it's a wide spectrum of companies. At last count, we had about 36 companies. In our space, 215 people working in our buildings. Some of the startups are focused on a mix of things. Typical startups in Ghana focus on healthcare, sustainable energy, education, agriculture, fintech. But for example, there's a company in our space called Crowdinvesting that is focused on finding a way for kind of bottom of the pyramid people who can't find resources for very specific surgical procedures that could cost a lot of money. So in a country where healthcare is out of pocket, it's really tough when some people need some very urgent medical procedures that was upwards of say $5,000 and they can't find the money. So they've built a platform that crowdsources the money based on the generosity of a community to be able to pay for it. And it's mostly pediatrics, so it's kids that have like tumors and all of that. Crowdfricker is finding a way, it's an alternative financing model for healthcare delivery for the poor. There's a company in our space called Space Turnkey that is focused on building modern Pan-African design and sustainability in Ghanaian buildings. So in a way trying to make sure that buildings in Ghana have an African character and speak to the Afropolitan aspirations of people, at the same time very sustainable. And there's chalkboard education that is focused on providing access to education for thousands of people who otherwise should be in college, but because of the resource constraints can't be, and extending these opportunities online for them and having colleges extend education to these people at a lower cost. So there's different kinds of companies trying to do different things, but there's synergies sometimes with that.
Great.
In that spaces. Yeah.
And how will the new solar system help these entrepreneurs?
So power in Ghana is a very scarce commodity. It's a rapidly growing urban setting in Accra, which means that a lot more power is required, but the generation capacity of the state is not progressing as rapidly. So there's always a shortfall in energy, and so there's been times when we've had power rationing in our country.
Yeah.
And if you're a small business, that could really sink you. It means you have to have a backup generator, and that could eat into your profits significantly. So for us, because we are a convener of small businesses, we have to constantly absorb the shocks of the market so it doesn't get to them. And solar is one of the ways of absorbing the energy cost so it doesn't transfer to these small businesses that we work with. So for us going forward, we think first there's a political statement of saying that we want to use our institution to show that companies should go green. And so there's that component of why we are doing this. But there's also the practical component of making sure that in case there's shortfall in the energy, a market in Ghana, we are protected in a certain way. So create our own bubble where we generate our energy, we store our energy, we use our energy in case the grid is not efficient.
Have energy shortages caused problems at the hub in the past?
Yeah, totally. We are a small company, so our generator is not necessarily the most efficient generator. It burns diesel poorly. It makes cranky noises when it's working, and when you turn it on, it just disrupts the environment, serene environment that we want to create. And so, for multiple reasons, when the power is out, we are not at our most efficient. And we just thought, going green and silent will solve a lot of our problems. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And so, what does running on solar energy mean for you?
It means being progressive, for one, as an institution, showing that we belong to the future. And if solar is the future of Africa, then we are in the right, we are with the right group of people that are thinking of the future. It also means efficiency. It means cost cutting, especially given the model that we've used to finance this. And I think it just means being part of the cool kids.
And when did you decide to implement the hub implement the solar system at the hub? Was this something that was impacted by Ecoligo's solar as a service solution?
Yes. In the past, we have looked at solar options, and the deterrent for the most part was the upfront costs that we had to put up. Yeah. As I said, small company, very small turnover annually. Some of the costs that these solar companies were sending to us were just not realistic for us to pay off of our books. The first time I had a aha moment was when I saw the ecoligo solar as a service contract that said, you pay over a period and towards ownership and all of that. It just made sense, and it was the right fit.
Yeah.
So there was a real push factor that led us to actually deciding to do this, was finding the right terms with the Ecoligo's contract.
Yeah, great. And what impact does it make for you to have the solar system financed through the crowd?
I think it does a number of things. It puts our work gives our work more visibility in a way. So if we look at it from the point of people knowing what we do and why we do it, this obviously does that. At the same time, because we have a long-term vision for the part of the city we are in, it means that for the next 5 years, we are constantly adding more generation capacity across multiple buildings in the same neighborhood. That will mean some familiarity with our work, and so we want to be able to, I think it does the job of showing people what we do now and walking with us in the journey towards kind of making a part of our city green.
Yeah.
So I think it solves a problem, but it also helps people walk with us on the journey, I guess.
Yeah, great. And is there anything else that you would like to say to the crowd investors at ecoligo.investments?
I think when you invest in something like this in a part of the world, there's a return obviously, but beyond the ROI, I think one of the things investors need to be looking at is that they are essentially financing the future of how decentralized solar systems might pick up across the world, and helping build a model over time that needs to thrive in a very tough market. So they are in on the ground floor of an opportunity to actually shape the future of sustainability in the world. And so outside of the ROI, I know most investors do actually feel strongly about sustainability, but even more importantly, in the part of the world that needs it the most. And I think they are helping finance some really amazing things happening on the continent, and we should pick up that.
Great.
Building the future of Africa, yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for speaking to us, and I'm looking forward to getting the project online.
Excited.